for 70 years.
All right.
I've gone to Lehighton schools. My children have gone to Lehighton schools. And I'm very familiar with this area. The one thing I hear everything about dollars and cents here, dollars and cents. Have any of you board members ever thought about how this is going to affect the elementary students? Now you're taking elementary students and you're putting them right there next to high school students that mix right in with them. You're going to bus them in probably with high school students. Have you ever thought about that? What that's going to do to them? I know for a fact, in my family, we had a problem because my son just couldn't take older students, even in the grades above him. Have you ever thought about this, how this is going to affect the children? Okay, the second thing is transportation. Have you made any study into transportation?
Yes, we did a complete transportation study, and the elementary students will still be in elementary run separate from the secondary students.
I mean, I'm talking about dollars and cents. Going to be cheaper.
Yes. What's that?
It's going to be cheaper.
It's about the same as our secondary.
About the same. That don't sound like a very good study to me.
If you look at our middle school and high school run,
One thing that I would like to say about money, with the political climate that's going on today, are all these grants and all this money, is it guaranteed?
No.
Then how can this board go ahead with good conscience if you don't even know for a fact that you have the money, and if you don't get the money, you're going to tax us?
Appreciate the opportunity to speak. I just want to reflect a little bit because the board, I think, has been very forward in bringing information to the community. This process actually started back in 2007. So, I mean, some people, by what you read, thinks that this was just done overnight. There's a lot of misinformation out there, and I think the only way to get it is to come to these meetings. Community, I think it would be much better served if everybody worked together toward this common cause and do what's right, do what's best for the community.
That's for
The
sure.
board has no self-interest.
My name is Will Everetts. I reside in Mahoney Township, and I'm a disgusted taxpayer in this community. You talked, Gloria, about trust. We're supposed to be able to trust you and the board. And you referred to the editorial type newspaper. I believe you were referring to the Carbon County Gazette, as in more or less not speaking very highly of it. And I think it's a real good paper because it tells you a lot of what's going on behind the lines. I think you did a real good job. Okay? Now, you want us to trust you. When we trust you and people like you, we get, for an example, 500 yards here to our southwest, we got a high school. The walls are falling down and the roof is leaking. We're trying to constantly repair that. So when we trust people like the school board before, that's what we got. So you want to know why we don't trust you. We also try to trust you in your judgment, and then we get an architectural engineer who is fired by Boyertown for doing the same things he's trying to do to us. So there again, our trust is betrayed. We don't feel comfortable. Also, we trusted you and the board to keep maintaining our elementary, or the schools that exist now. Those were supposed to be maintained, and they weren't maintained properly, which is another reason why we're in this situation. So here again, we trust you, and this is what we get. Reflecting on working together by another speaker. How are we supposed to work together when you ignore us, Gloria? A lot of times, like for example, we presented you with a number of signatures, over 900 signatures that were taken in a survey. We heard nothing about that. They were just, what did you think that was supposed to be used for? Toilet paper, or what did you do with that? You know, what happened? You want me to trust you. The $52 million figure up there, that's garbage. We know that's going to be way higher. The school district has an open line of credit. We're all aware of that, right? Right. So $52 million, and you didn't say anything about that stadium you want to build. Now we're looking at probably another $8 million. Well, you know damn well you're going to have us in the hole for at least $75 to $85 million. So now you're talking about saving money in the long run. Do you know how many years we're going to have to save? And by the time we do start seeing some savings, if we even do, the school's going to be obsolete. You know that. You're going to have to build another. Our great-grandchildren will never see the end of this debt. And you don't care. You just don't listen. I don't understand it. You live in this community, the school board, oh, except Mr. Cleaver, Mr. Wonderful Cleaver. He lives in Berwick. Huh? You're going to do us all a favor. Take your big ideas, get your car, go back to Berwick. We're stupid. You're going to borrow all this money, and then $52 million, you're going to borrow all that money, and you're not going to raise taxes. It's free. And you're not going to get those reimbursements and grants. How many school districts in the outlying area are waiting for that money and have been waiting for it for what, 4 years now? And they're not getting it.
And besides, who's going to use it?
After I'm done, and I will get 3 minutes.
It is, your 3 minutes are up.
I don't think it's somebody should have, you need an egg timer. One more thing, I'll close with this. I apologize for interrupting you and Mr. Barnhart. I didn't know we were getting a tag team, until you were giving your speech. I didn't realize we were being tag team. I'm not used to that.
Well, I appreciate your call. Thank you.
All I can say is, people, we gotta pray, we gotta stick together, we need more people. We need more people.